Hello and welcome to the Prosperity Portal podcast. I'm your host, Jill Alana, and I'm here to support you in everything you need to prosper in health, wealth, and relationship. I'm obsessed with everything manifestation, soul path, intuition, somatic embodiment healing. And I'm looking forward to supporting you in liberating to a life of love and luxury. True empowerment, true sovereignty, and aligned soul manifestation. I'm the founder of Jill Alana International, Jai Activations, and Jai Breathwork. And without further ado, let's go to the show and get you resourced in everything pro your spirit. Hello, fam. I'm bringing Nicole on today, and we're going to talk about how our frequency is our currency and what money actually is. So just 1 second. Oh, yay! Hello, Nicole.
Hello. How are you? How is everyone? Welcome to our live.
Welcome to our live. I made it. I'm okay. I'm going through a big recalibration. It's like, yippee! And then like, oh, whoa, okay.
Always.
Yeah, I got really sick actually today.
Did you? Okay.
Anyway,
Well,
we'll talk about that maybe. I did the breath work yesterday too, and I was, oh God. Okay, so anyways, our frequency is our currency. How are you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm visiting my parents this week. So excited to be still on the East Coast, enjoying all the greenery. Amazing. It's really, really hot here. If anyone's here, you know. And I'm excited to be back in California because of the weather. No, I'm good. I'm really good. So I'm excited to do this live with you. We have a lot of good things to talk about. And start with.
Okay, yeah, I think we should start with, I was like thinking today, I'm like, where do we even start? Let's start with the entrapment of money and what it actually is. Hello, Mark. Hello, Haley. So,
hi, everyone.
We'll talk about frequency upgrades too, since I brought it up. Everyone's gonna be like, what is she talking about? That sounds awful. No, it's beautiful. The good parts of it on the other side. I was like, I'm on the other side this morning. So many negative downloads, and then boom, it hit me right before the live, like 2 hours ago. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, so money doesn't actually exist.
Yep. That's not a conspiracy either.
It's not a conspiracy. It literally doesn't exist, but we have to be able to work with it, the frequency, and you know, like the energy of it, because we do live in this 3D reality, and all the spiritual stuff is like great and dandy, but like if we can't integrate it, then none of it matters. Because great, you can know all this stuff conceptually, but if it's not integrated, which means in the body, which that's frequency upgrades, then none of it matters, because we live in this 3D, and we're all here to actually live a cool, amazing 3D life that is not a life of a slave, which is the money matrix. The goal of the money matrix is to enslave people, not just by money, but it's actually to enslave people in their energy and their attention. Those are the two most valuable resources, our energy and our attention. And when they can allow that to be focused on the things that don't actually matter, they can siphon energy, and they can keep you distracted and chasing instead of creating on your soul path. And when we create, that's how we become our own ecosystem, our own bank, literally. Like we become our own, what's it called? Market? The market? That's not the word I'm thinking of, but basically economy, our own economy.
Oh. Yeah. And I think it's really for like control and certain people want control and certain people want to be able, well, I would say it comes from a very like lack mindset, thinking that when you buy something or put some money somewhere else or give it to other people, it's like the mentality that not all can succeed, basically. Like when you have money, somebody else doesn't, which is a trap, which is a complete trap.
Oh, yes. Can we talk about this? Like deep.
Yeah.
Scarcity. Okay. So if I succeed, Nicole's in my field, so very closely in my field. So Nicole also gets pulled up. This is the group matrix. This is the group vortex. Whoever we're surrounded, we become like that. So there's this mentality by the people who control the financial system that's all an illusion, which is when we can create literally our own. I'm not talking about crypto or anything. I'm literally talking about creating value and then calling that energy towards you and circulating it. But as one rises in a vortex, we all rise. And so scarcity is a slave code. It is like, I need to be the best. I need to be, you know, the best healer, the best mentor, the best this, whatever. We're all the best at what we do in the way that we can do it. Nobody else can do what we can do. And so when we have this hierarchical paradigm, which is, I mean, I'm not going to name the names, but certain organizations will like keep other people under them. They'll actually put frequency fences on them and rituals and all of these things to literally keep them beneath, because they're so afraid, because they don't feel good, they don't feel whole. So it's this whole paradigm of competition instead of co-creation. And honestly, it's not a vibe. I'm not about being in vortexes where people are so competitive and so like threatened by accomplishments. It basically makes people like dim their light and not live out their soul path and soul purpose. And so when like the world that I keep seeing and I keep aligning into and stepping into and like, you know, helping others liberate to this is a world where everyone's living their soul path. Everyone's fully resourced, which you are always on their soul path, abundantly resourced, like more than you could ever need. And this is what's accessible to us. It's just most people are looking to the paradigm of, I can't afford it, or can I afford it? Or it's like, that's too much, or I'm unworthy, or all of these things, or they can do it, but I can't. Well, guess what? These tools work for everybody because they're literally law with a capital L, quantum law.
Also, L word, lack. So, like that transition, wherever there is lack, there can't be abundance, because abundance and just a plethora of wealth is a high frequency, and lack and scarcity and not enough and complacency, competition, jealousy are all very like low vibrational frequencies, and they cannot exist on the same plane, especially. So speaking of that, and speaking of your recent sickness, this is actually really interesting, but like your body, which Joe, I know you're going to talk about a lot, stores emotion, Joe's bread and butter, but like your body physically will go through its own transformation as you elevate to like higher frequencies.
100%. It's bonkers. Like I was talking about somebody, I won't name who it is, but in my family, I'm like, this looks 20 years younger because they started doing energy and then purging old distorted code, and like it was a whole healing journey in and of its own. And like same thing for me, I look way younger than I used to. Somebody thought I was 19 a few weeks ago. Remember the night you made me go dancing? Literally, the person's like, how old are you? I'm like, I don't know. It like doesn't matter. Like, how old are you? I'm like, how old do you think I am? He's like, 19. And I'm like, oh my God. And when I was like 21, I used to go out for acting roles that were like 35 because I was in so much dense energy and so much shame, so much guilt, so much fear. And so like right now I'm literally going through such a deep transmutation journey of like purging shame that I didn't even know I had. It's popping up everywhere. I've been talking about it in my prosperity portal free channel. If you guys want to join, DM me, or it's in my bio. And if you have issues, I'll add you manually. But I'm like, okay, this is what's going on, because I'm like, I need to let people like behind the scenes. And I realized I had so much shame about my success, and I had shame about things I wasn't successful at. And it's all just like, it's all none of it's actually real. It's all just distorted code and energy, like you, and that you lock in your body. You're like, I'm not good enough because this didn't succeed, or like, who am I to have this success? I got to dim my light. I actually had this experience today. We all know we're intuitives here. Well, hello, we're intuitives for those who don't know. Hello, Will. Hello, Steph. So I'm like communicating with a couple people, and I'm like, I could literally feel the energy, Nicole. I'm like, whoa, they're threatened by my success. And like, it was so bonkers. I saw myself, my energy field just start to like shrink in communication. And then I'm like, no, F this, like lean in, step through. And I literally watched myself, like an energy like moving through my body. It like got so hot, and it was like trauma literally alchemizing in real time. And it's one of the, so shame, guilt, lust are the lowest frequencies, and then fear is a little bit higher but still quite low, and these are the frequencies of the entire planet. And so like all this shame stuff, because I've been doing something with my mentor, has been coming up, and I'm like, I've worked through so many layers of this, I didn't even realize this was still going on. Like, you know, I talk about somatics all the time and whatever, and this is why they did the breath work yesterday, and I've done really deep transmutation like every single night for the past week. It's been so intense and fun. Hello, Limitless. No.
I'm not seeing everyone pop up, but hi everyone.
Okay.
For joining. Also, I wanted to add real quick to that, because
yeah,
like it's obviously like really normal to feel those types of feelings, and I think at every level in your life you can experience some form of that. And it just like a reminder that that's really just a product of how you've been experiencing life. It's through relationships, maybe parents, your environment. So it's not necessarily something to be like ashamed of or feel wrong that you may feel certain ways, but just like know that it's more of a brain, a mental, and really physical programming that you're experiencing now for what your brain thinks is for your best good, which we know is not for the best good. And so it's something that like can be changed, and it shouldn't be something that's like, yeah, I'm a bad person if I feel or think these certain ways, but it's just, that's basically how you've been molded from like poor programming, essentially.
100%. And shame can only live in secrecy. So when we start to out it, then it literally starts to dissolve or bring presence to it. But most people are avoiding it, and then it goes deeper and deeper and builds more and more. And then the shadow, what we don't own, owns us. The shadows, things we've disowned, starts to control us, and energy can't be destroyed. So then it comes out in thwarted, destructive ways towards self or others. Haley, I'll speak to this in a second. And yeah, it's an alchemical process. You can't just think your way out of that. So many people are like, oh, just think, or like, you know, like manage your emotions, manipulate them. And I'm like, yeah, try getting to the next level of success in anything doing that. Like, good luck, because it won't work. It might work short term, and I've used it short term. But you know, to like get to the next level, like whatever you want, like 7-figure business, or deepening in a relationship, or like finding true love, like you can't do that without that alchemical process of transmuting that shame. Because like authenticity is the highest embodied frequency. That is kind of the embodiment of unconditional love for self. Okay, shame is what blocks that. And I like literally find myself, because I've been focusing on this recently, I've found myself a lot, I'm like, oh, this, like, I'll find myself going deeper into my authenticity, and then I'm like, oh, but this part of me, or like I have to be this way with my family, and this way with my friends, or like I have to hide my success even from my family. This is crazy. I talked about this on my Voxer channel this morning. I was like telling a story of how you know how I went to Hawaii with my family, and at the retreat I was like talking about abundance and wealth, and I was like, yeah, I booked myself a first class ticket, like obviously, because like I worked on the day, got back, and it's overnight, and it's a freaking long flight. It's like 8 hours, so to take 2 flights, and I remember thinking before because my mom was at my retreat, my identity before was like the poor child. I'm like watching like my middle brother make like buckets of money. He's so entrepreneurial, and like my oldest brother does very, very well as well. He like develops computer programs, and then I was like a starving actor for ages. And and like serving and like detailing cars, like every odd job you could ever think of. God. And so, and living in the most expensive city in probably North America. Like, I want to say Canada, but it's more expensive in New York. So, um, so that was my identity. And I like, obviously I've shifted that, but like with my family, they knew the old me. They knew the stingy, like the poor actress woman, me. And so, you know, like I'm like, dang, my parents are picking me up at the airport because they left before, and how am I gonna like take these priority tags off my luggage? They don't like, this is the shit. I like genuinely was like, oh my God. And I was literally, I remember I was on the phone with you and I booked that ticket. Like, is the world gonna shut down? Anyways, so I'm like, and then at the retreat, I was like, what am I doing? I'm literally here facilitating all these people. This is going on in my mind. And my body's like freaking out. And I'm like, I'm just going to say it. And I'm like, and I booked a first class ticket to Hawaii. And of course, my mom was proud and happy, but I didn't need her to be proud. And I just like outed that, like, you know, I was doing that. And I was like, oh, should I feel bad or guilty? Because like they had to like live like the lawyer life, and what they chose that, right? And it's like all of last year I was literally traveling all across the world, like probably way too many places, honestly. Well, it's 2 years ago now, I guess. It was like way too much, but it was like, again, I had to like hide that, and there was so much shame, and like I didn't want them to know it was like making money my business. And like, you know, like certain members of my extended family think my business is a scam, and I'm like the testimonials, but like so like we do this, we contort ourselves and distort ourselves and around this person, and I can show this part of myself. And like we do this in relationships. I definitely did this in my last partnership. He was like, you're too loud, you're too this, like don't talk, don't wear that, but wear that in this setting and not. And I'm like, I literally lost my sense of self. And when we do that, guess what happens with our finances and our ability to create? Because money, we can generate money through our life force energy. But if we're not in our authentic expression, if we're living in shame, which is the second lowest frequency next to lust, I'm triggering some people, I can feel it, then everything in our life is going to be a manifestation of that. So like my right now, like I'm literally in the middle. I thought I was at the end of it, and I created all this stuff, rebranded the podcast, like so much is coming. I did the whole retreat page for next year, like hammered it out, rebranded everything in like a day and a half, recorded like 4 podcasts. And then I was like, oh, I guess I'm not through this. But what happened was this energetic of shame that was actually, a lot of it was like, to be honest, it was like with the masculine, and like anytime I didn't honor myself, and like had to, because of fear, and I had to go back and like alchemize all of these experiences where I dishonored myself and my body and whatnot, and even like stayed at jobs because I thought that's like what I needed to do, even though like they were abusive, or I had to dress a certain way, or dress slutty, or whatever it was. Serving jobs, goodness. So I went and alchemized that, and now it's like that energetic just started to leave and dissolve out of my life and literally my physical body. And so like I was like having a fever most of the day yesterday, and today I woke up feeling great, and now I'm not so feeling so great. I'm feeling a little bit better, but not great. But like, and then all these people just started shifting out of my life. And I was like, oh my God, they were reinforming this energetic of shame. The people that told me I had to be this way, or I couldn't speak this way, that's too much, or I need to compete with you because you're a woman. And like, and I'm like, none of this energy I want in my life. And I literally tried to be like, oh, I'm just gonna like not have that person in my life, or I'm gonna like, just not let it affect me. But the point of the matter is that everything around us affects us. Those closest to us affect us the most. It's science, it's energetics. And so, I'm speaking really fast. So I just like, I'm witnessing this happen and occur because I went and alchemized that energy and those moments, and this is what happens. And I would love, I just actually want to comment on Haley's message here, but then I'd love to like hear some of your experiences. I think we should talk about the relationship of money too. this is one of the biggest things I struggle with, people being bothered by any success I have. Oh, yes, it is mainly with my family. Okay, yeah. So these, Haley, these, I get it, as I just spoke about. These are the people in scarcity, and they are threatened by your success. Um, like, I totally get it. I've been in vortexes of people like cheering me on with success, like the small wins, and mentors. And I've been in vortexes with them like, oh, all of a sudden you're about to like surpass a mentor in a certain aspect, and they're like trying to pull you down, or you share a win in a community, and then people are like so jealous and pissed off and try and like pull you down. That's not the vibe. Firstly, like, write those down and like set the intention of those dissolve out of your field. And the somatic work will really, really help that, which we'll talk about at the end more so. But it's the norm. Unfortunately, in this day and age, we have to look for environments, we have to look for people, we have to look for guidance that actually wants us to succeed. And I remember about a year ago, my mentor told me that, and I was like, I'd had other mentors that like wanted to tear me down, and she's like, just realize that is like literally the norm of people not wanting you to succeed, because you succeeding activates their shadow and their feeling of unworthiness, and they see yourself. This is so important, guys. This is freaking gold. If you take one thing, they see their self in you, and by you succeeding and them not going after their dreams and desires and the life they truly want and doing the work to get there, you threaten that belief system in them, and it pisses them off. But guess what? When you do that, it also activates something in those who are willing to be like, whoa, she did it, why not me? This is why I've been able to have mentors that are like, you know, killing it in business and literally being in their field. I would calibrate to that energetic. Or when you're in like a mastermind crew, and for those of you who don't know, Nicole and I have an epic mastermind. It's called Your Soul Aligned Wealth Plan. It's going right now, so it's not open, but it'll be open again in 6 months. But like being in a field that's truly supported, and that, you know, you can hit out shame of like, hey, I tried this, it didn't work. Oh yeah, I did that too. I experienced that in business too. Here's what I did that shifted that. Like being in a group that you have coaching, you have mentorship, and you also have a community that you get calibrated to, and that also is happy for your wins, supports you and holds you through your perceived losses, which down is always on the way to up, so there's no actual losses. Josiah, hello. So yeah, down is always on the way to up. There's only growth, there's only learning. And the most successful people I know in this world have also had the biggest challenges, like financially. Like, there's a guy, actually, I don't know this person, but something Belmont. I always send him your stuff. You know his name, Nicole. He went bankrupt twice. I just found out. Talks about it openly. Anyway, okay. That was awful.
No, that was amazing. And yeah, Haley, we see a lot of people dealing with this, and I think that it can be helpful to actually look at it as, if you can look at it as a good thing, great, because it really is, like Joe mentioned, it's triggering something in them, but it's also activating something. And you ultimately are that thing for the change in them. And anything that anyone sees, they have the potential to do themselves, and they have some desire to do that. So I think if you can get to a place like where you're okay with it, and knowing almost like, well, from a God perspective, this is, I'm actually doing them a favor.
God's
it can be kind of a more neutral place to kind of like be okay with that, even though I know it's like super uncomfortable. But where there's uncomfort, there's growth. So keep that in mind too. So yeah, and also like we are such, everything that we see externally, like Joe, with what you just shared with your family, is proof that how you show up is how the world responds. So if you think about that with your mind, the way you think, the way you see, the lens you look through life, the body, how you feel, and having that connections, and then the actions you put out, anytime those change, the external is going to change. So that is like what true creation really is. A lot of people are wanting to just manifest and put the intention out there and visualize and like say affirmations. I know what you're laughing, but
I have so much to say on this.
yeah. And it's like anybody, and like, yeah, maybe that works for some people, but there's light ways to manifest and there are dark ways to manifest. And really, when you're doing things from a soul aligned place, that is true creation. So you're creating your external at any given moment, and it does take time to shift things. But when you're manifesting, you could manifest technically anything outside of like outside of there being another person involved. Typically, hopefully, don't do that. But you may not
God,
like.
on that too.
Okay, well,
I did not do it. Do not teach someone interested in you how to manifest an ex.
Yeah, well, that's different. But
anyways,
like, yeah, so like you can manifest tactically whatever, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be fully fulfilled, right? Like people can manifest a really good job, a high paying salary, lots and lots of wealth, but like, is that truly where the situation where you're going to feel authentically yourself, happy, have the relationships you want, all of that?
100%.
Whereas where you're working in alignment and really truly being okay with who you are, which means facing all the fears, the uncomfort, the potential of dealing with people looking at you as competition. When you're able to like elevate through all of that, which is what we teach, you're able to see the other side of things and have all of it, because wealth isn't just money or finances. It's literally happiness, it's relationships, it's fun, it's things too, and it's wealth, and you can actually utilize the wealth for. So going back to Joe, what you said earlier in the beginning, like money is nothing. We're not even really meant to have money. We're meant to like utilize it for things, to always be doing, like it needs a job and always wants to be out and circulation and doing work.
100%. And like for anyone who's like, how to know if somebody's actually manifesting through their soul and their energy field versus manipulation, which is DF stuff. What's their energy? Does their embodiment match what they've created? Because when it's mind manipulation, their energy won't match it, and that's when you know other things are involved. And it's, I mean, they're on the dark path, so like I send all the prayers to them. But if you're manifesting through your soul, through the light, through source, through God, then you become the vessel, you become the channel. And what that means is like why I'm going through this really big recalibration, and like is because it's like you have to be able to hold that energy, that creative energy, that life force energy, that money is energy. Even like facilitating like a group of people, you have to be able to hold that energy. So it's like, tangible example, I just was like, I'm gonna create like a broadcast channel. I'm holding the energy of that channel. And so all of a sudden I had all this inspiration. I was like, da-da-da-da. And then it's like all these people entering my field, and I'm like, whoa, I have to hold this. My body has to be a greater vessel for this energy. And if we don't go through the recalibration, we won't, it's like divine protection. Like the energy called money won't come in because our nervous system literally can't hold it. If you study the posture, the energy of people who have a lot of wealth, they're very grounded. They're very intentional. They move at their own pace. And when they move, they trust themselves. These are character traits of that. Their energies, their frequencies. So we have to become literally a somatic match to that, which it's great to know all the why did it pause? That was so weird. Oh God, what's going on?
So there.
Okay. So it's great to know all like of the money codes, but knowledge is only the first step. Awareness is the first step. embodied wisdom is when you put it into action, you become that. You're on the court of life. And so a lot of people are trying to bypass this process. They're trying to bypass their shadows. They're trying to bypass their shame and hide their shame. And they're like, why can't I manifest more money? Why can't I manifest a partner? And I'm like, yo, because you're not facing the thing that is stopping you, holding you back from that. Nicole and I, in our mastermind, everyone's going through a portal right now, which I knew would happen right about now. And all the shadows are coming up. All the things that aren't aligned with what they said they wanted and what they spoke out, words or spells, into existence, all of it is coming to awareness and literally purging and dissolving from their field, from their cells, from their life. The fear is coming up. The shame is coming up. The unconscious patterns are coming up. The misaligned friends are coming up and blowing up in their face. And somebody asked me, Nicole, somebody asked me the other day, she was like, can I have some tools? Because she was having all these, like, the biggest days in her business, like boom, 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 from our financial liberation series, which, by the way, we'll talk about at the end. Sale for that ends tomorrow. Then it's not going to be open until we relaunch that, and it's not going to be the same one. Some of the most powerful aspects are going to be held just for a mastermind. But anyways, I was like, no, I'm like, I have tools, but I don't want to give you quick hacks right now, because your higher self and source was showing you what's possible. Now you know what's possible, but now you want to go beyond this. So that means that all of these limiting beliefs and these fears, and she wants to create something, well, she wants to create a family. And so there are certain energetics in which I hope I'm not freaking people out, whatever. Here we go, authentic chill. Her soul, her baby's soul is like wanting to come in, and she needs to be in homeostasis. She needs to be more in like nervous system calibration. And so what's happening is that her higher self is showing her what's out of alignment and why. And it came down to like approving energy, and it came down to all of these things. And I said, use this tool. Here's an activation where you can go into the void. It's literally called Into the Void, and go and sit with these emotions and transmute them and give love to that version of yourself. The version where somebody told you weren't good enough, or you weren't pretty enough, or you were stupid, or you would amount to nothing, or all of these things that are so common, or you're too tall, or you're too skinny, or you're whatever it is, like all this BS. Ugh. Shame, 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 shame is what those imprints cause. And so she did this, and then, you know, everything shifted, and she's like, oh my God, during that 2 hours, like all of these pieces filled, and like another big quantum leap in the business. And I'm like, obviously I know, like, anchor this in. This is only beginning. We haven't even done the breath work yet. Just wait. So this is the piece, the somatic piece. And Nicole, I would love for you to share your experience with this.
Yeah.
This is the somatic piece of manifestation. Specific, we're talking about money here today and money codes, but like it works with anything. But this is the piece that so many people miss. They're like, I just want the tool, and I want, and the problem is, yes, you can have the tool, and those are really important, and we're going to be giving more of those in our mastermind. But if you don't go face shadows, you'll have to use that tool 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Who has time for that? Versus it just being like an amplifier of now what your base frequency is: abundance and prosperity and wealth. Now you can build from a strong foundation instead of building on a land where there's like a well under, I don't know, something else, a cave under that is going to cave in, right? And so this is, a lot of people are teaching mindset, or like, use this tool, or like, it needs to take 10 years, 5 years. Like, I'm sorry, no, it doesn't. But you need to be willing to walk through the fire, and you need to be willing to do the thing that you don't want to do. And I tracked this actually recently. I'm like, when did I have the biggest manifestations in money, in just in actually everything? And I was like, when my back was against a wall and I literally had no choice but to do the uncomfortable thing. And that's where all my quantum leaps have been. and they always will be there. Because it forced me to face my shadows, to go into that shame of, hey, like this journey is madly humbling. It's like, source, I need help, or asking somebody for help, or asking for the sale.
Yeah.
One more story, and then there's somebody else that I was working with, and she's like, I know, I was like on this trip and I have all this abundance and I got this and this and this and I feel so provided for, and like I got this designer bag gifted to me and this money. And then she's like, almost home, she's like, but no clients have signed up. And I like look at her social media and I'm like, babe, I love you. You literally, I have no offers on your page. Who's gonna buy if there's no offer? It's like, this is so funny. You know when dudes like ask a girl on a date, but they don't ask a girl on a date? Personally, like, just ask her. It's so unattractive. It's like, well, she didn't ask me, so like I don't know. It's like you're trying to like tiptoe in. It's like, choose, then do the thing, make the offer, ask them on the date. Like, it's, yeah, you might fail. She might say no. Like, the client might say no. Okay, cool. But our freaking ego is like, oh no, that's gonna be too much. I just gotta wait for everyone to come to me and all the things. And yes, that's the thing. But the feminine energy also leads in the fact that she drops the handkerchief. She's like, hey, I'm open. So you literally have to open that door and be like, hey, this is what I'm offering. Are you interested? But we don't, because we're like, oh, if they say no, I'm unworthy. And then that proves this belief correct. But they're already saying no because I haven't even offered. But so I'm going to perceive that as a no. And wow, Jill, I don't know where I got all this energy, but I still feel okay. Passionate Nicole, what's your experience with knowing all the things? Because you're very knowledgeable and wicked at like finances and investments, but knowing all the things and even being able to like, help other people on all this capacity. But when did it really shift for you and your finances and being able to call in the next level of wealth and actually hold it consistently?
Yeah. I mean, I think when I started initially, there was a bunch of different steps and pieces to it, but it really started to realize that the money is kind of a trap with the current way that we're living, especially like
just kind
in
of
the US. Yeah, kind of. So it was really like starting to shift the way I viewed life and how to navigate life and like what we're here for. And then really when I met Jill, like understanding the body's role in feeling and just like feeling like confident, really, because I think with the knowledge, I mean, I know so much about so many things, financial and other areas too, but like it was weird because I always felt like there's a disconnect between knowing I can do something and feeling like I actually can. It's like the self-belief was lacking, which was really strange to me because it's like, well, you go to school and you study and you know all these things, and it's literally like fact, like this, I've actually gotten results with these things. I've gotten people results with these things. Like I've done it before, but like, why do I still feel like it's not happening? Or why do I still feel like I can't do something even after being able to do it multiple times? So it's like really strange how there's like that mind and body disconnect. And for the longest time, like I couldn't really figure out what the reason was for that. And I've tried a couple different modalities. Like I've done other breath works. I've done like tapping, I've done hypnosis, and everything has worked to like an extent. But I think the activations also are amazing. The breath work is on another level. I think what's cool about all these different tools, because they're all tools, really, like you're the vessel, you're the creation, you're the creator. And all of these tools help to improve your energy, help amplify your frequency. Just some work faster, a lot faster than others. And so it's kind of like if you're going to reprogram your mind and you're going to think things over and over again and catch yourself in the moment to make mental shifts, yes, that's really great and really helpful to do in the moment. It takes a really long time to build that. I think it's like 66 days until something really becomes a standard new habit. Whereas when I started doing breath work and the healing activations that were mixed into it, it's like my whole body like actually felt spacious after going through that. And even the activations too, it's like what's happening with those is like you're targeting your body on a cellular level and changing the chemical signatures, that because every time you have a thought, it sends a chemical signature into a certain part of the body, and it's basically instructions for how the cells are then going to operate and show up. So that's why like you literally you cause physical, like external disease and circumstances with your physical body too, because you're actually like, stress is the best way to put this, because stress is actually causes physical like strain on your body. So
and makes you dumb and lose access to intuition.
So
it does. Blood rushes from brain to our legs so we can run faster. It makes us stupid. We lose access to creativity, intuition, logic, like all the things we need to create, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Like, good luck. You think the fear is helping you, but literally it's making you dumb.
Yeah. And same with like alcohol or bad food or any of that stuff. It's the same thing. It's causing a disconnect to like your brain, your body. It causes you not to make decisions the best. And so it all affects you. It's honestly, it's crazy. But the breath work, then like you feel an instant capacity, like physical capacity in your body.
Sorry to cut you off, but what you said before, I just want to make a point before you continue about so with the breath work. So basically the trauma, samskara, Sanskrit for trauma, is stuck energy, okay? It's like a wound. And if we're numb, that's also a wound. Like wound scab, that's a very scabbed wound. Then you have more work to do. But what happens is that imprint creates the thought paradigm, the matrix of the mind. They're all connected. So when you go straight to the wound and transmute it from the core, which is what Jai Breathwork does and what she's talking about, what happens is that energy starts to dissolve. And as that energy is dissolving, that neural pathway that was created from that wound also dissolves. It gets pruned and new ones grow. So what people are doing when they're doing affirmations or this tool, this thought tool, or I'm going to analyze everything. Why is this going on? I'm going to manipulate my whole life. Like, God, who has time for that? Not me. Like, we got to live a life to live here and actually enjoy. What happens is now a new neural pathway can grow, and the natural state of abundance, which is our birthright and our natural state that we're born into, well, minus the imprints of our parents, starts to form, okay? So it's literally, instead of 60 days, and I actually think that would be longer, like, 60 days, but now you're building a different neural pathway over a distorted one. So there's distorted ones still under it, versus going directly to that wound, transmuting it, and then the neural pathway, the natural one, which look at nature, we're naturally abundant. The scarcity thoughts or programming and imprints just start to form back, and we come back to wholeness. And from that place of creation is the most powerful. So it's doing the same thing, but so much faster, and not overlaying a new one, but actually creating, like pruning the old one and then overlaying, like creating a new one of abundance. What can I create? I'm whole and complete. And sorry, please continue. So spacious nervous system.
That was an amazing explanation too, with explaining how it's not like covering up the distorted trauma part, basically. That's a new way for me to look at it. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And
most people are even trying to manifest to cover up. And I don't care how much wealth you have. I literally know billionaires who are like miserable and still in scarcity. And I know one that's like not, and he's so abundant. And you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're trying to cover up wound, like, good luck, your traumas are. Is there a way I can like delete somebody from this chat? There we go. Sorry, somebody's not being in the vibe. Um, it's very creepy. We don't allow that. Boundaries, guys, is important for your energy fields.
I was gonna say I'm waiting for the tech issues. I think we're having a little bit, but this always happens in high places.
Yeah, girl, don't even. I couldn't start a Telegram channel, wouldn't let me. And then WhatsApp, I was having issues, and the vibe of WhatsApp I'm not really about. And so I was like, oh, Voxer, my private clients are on there. So I was like, Voxer channel. And now half the people are having issues. I've gotten so many emails, and I'm like, I'm just gonna manually add people. This is ridiculous. But yeah, when high frequency IDs are being shared or things that threaten enslavement, and actually help people create true sovereignty and, like liberation and go on their soul path and be in the frequency of joy, love, pleasure, all of it, then if tech interference happens.
Yeah, nothing new here. So
nothing new here.
Used to it. Yeah, so with the spaciousness of the body came with an instant feeling of like confidence, self-belief, like my ability to want to put myself in places that previously were uncomfortable, like speaking in front of people. I've done a lot of speaking. I used to speak in front of thousands of people, and I always blacked out because it was so traumatizing to my body. Like I would be like, okay, I'm like, how did that go? I don't remember any of it. It was so crazy. I don't think I ever told you that when I was doing my modeling thing.
Oh my
God. I would do live interviews, and my whole body, like my heart would like feel like out of my body 2 days before the event. Like I felt like I was going to throw up constantly. I would try not to think about it. And then I would go to do like a short interview, and I literally wouldn't know what I said. And it always turned out great. Thank the Lord, I think. But I don't remember. No, I'd watch them, but it was just crazy. And I didn't pursue it for multiple reasons, but part of it was because I just didn't want to deal with that feeling. And so it was interesting after the first time I did the breath work, because I remanifested an old consulting position where I took sales calls, and like it was like I could show up, not even prepare for anything, and everything went fantastic. Yeah. And it was really interesting just being able to have such an instant shift, and then also translated elsewhere too, like with my business, with our collab, with my relationship. I think my relationship's always been pretty good. It has been great, but like, I don't know, there was just like some subtle changes that felt even better than it already was. So it's just kind of, yeah.
About why?
Wait, about why?
Yeah. Some guy who wanted to come to an event was like, no, but I need one for relationships. Because I'm like, our capacity to hold wealth is our capacity to hold intimacy. Yeah, so when our nervous system, like all these fears, again, these lower density energies is what people are kind of like running and skirting around in relationships. So once we face that and alchemize it, we can show up more authentically. And that authenticity and like intimacy, into me you see, creates deeper intimacy. And so that's why. And that's so beautiful. And I love that for you.
Thanks. Yeah, I think I just felt like I could relax a little bit more because I'm always go, go, go.
Yeah.
Which of course I'm learning to that having fun, relaxing actually contributes to the wealth attraction and the wealth growth. So I think that's probably the biggest struggle of mine. But yeah, no, that all makes sense. And I also, the other thing that I started doing, and Joe, with your retreat, was kind of like experimenting too, because my mindset and before studying the energetics, intuition, all of that was very much very practical, very responsible, you had to be responsible, you had to spend the least amount of money, you had a budget, all of that stuff, which is good in the right sense. But I basically felt like anytime I was putting money out there, it was that lack, or it was being taken from me. And so with your retreat, like intuitively, I was like, I feel really called to go to this. I don't technically have the funds. Like I could pull them from other places, which I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? We're going to put the intention out there, and I'm just going to use this as a opportunity to trust that if I feel called to do something, it feels in alignment, it's all good. It's going to expand me and focus on like where the value is in that, because there was so much value in the retreat. It was absolutely incredible. Even if I wasn't able to attend in person, whole other story. But yeah, putting the intention out there and being like, okay, well, you know what? Like, so what? Money is supposed to be utilized. If I need to pull from a different place, that's going to actually create a bigger impact on myself and grow and expand more wealth from that. So be it. And so putting the intention out, doing activations, doing the breath work, like transmuting all of those feelings and fear, like all the money just came out of nowhere, not from places that I knew it was going to come from. I actually was like, I'm going to manifest it from this one check that I'm still waiting for, which I can't wait for that to come in because it still gets to receive it at some other point in the future. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm excited for that time. But it came in from other places in a super easy way. And it was just like, I was like, whoa, okay, so money wants us to trust it and to utilize it for places where it's going to expand us. Reinvesting in yourself, by the way, is the best investment that you can make, especially as a new business owner. It's one of the best investments you can make. And even investing in the experience of trusting, because that whole process of just being like, okay, I'm going to trust the money's going to come in and put the intention out. I'm going to do the embodiment work to attract it and trusting it. That whole process was an investment in my experience of this work. So looking at things that way as well, where it's not just the physical investment, it's like your energetic investment. It's all really the same thing. So really, really cool stuff with that work.
Okay, this is so synchronistic. Firstly, I want to say, like, I let everything you just said, like, I just invested in this event in the fall. I don't even know what's going on. I just dropped $2,000. It'll be fun by the time I fly there, book a hotel, whatever. But I felt the pull, and I was like, yes, energy. And it gave me so much energy because I'm like, okay, let's go. Because if you're too afraid to invest in yourself, quite frankly, you don't value yourself. And if you don't value yourself, no one else will. And you don't trust yourself that you're going to make that money back plus way more. And it's so funny that you say that, because I remember you're like, oh, well, if this check comes and it can pay in full. And I'm like, why don't we just like open other funnels for it to manifest? And like, you just keep that check. It doesn't need to come through that check. And so, and then all of a sudden you're like, boom, I just manifested the deposit. Boom, I just manifested the, and I was like, of course. But like, it's so ironic because on Facebook today, this photo popped up from like 7 years ago today, or 8 years ago today or something. And it was from this commercial. Do you remember that commercial that paid for my trip to Cyprus?
Oh, I think you told me about it.
Yeah, so the commercial, yes. So basically, I went to Cyprus years ago. I didn't have the money, didn't have the resources. London was closed, and somehow I got through. And it was for this energy healing thing. And I actually just reconnected with that mentor today. So ironic. So I made this choice to go on this trip, and it was like COVID. I didn't have a job, and I was bawling my eyes out. I'm like, I'm worthy. And then I just made this with every single cell in my body, this choice. I'm like, I'm going. I don't know how I'm getting there. My willpower is very strong. So our will, our center of will, is what sets the intention out to the source, which is why I'm just gonna manifest and wait for everything to come without actually taking action. And intention doesn't work. It's intention, surrender. Intention, surrender. It's like the sacred dance of the divine masculine and feminine. Anywho, so within a day, I had manifested a ticket there and back. And within 48 hours, I manifested a check to pay for the trip and a little bit more. And that check I never thought I was going to get. It was from this buyout for this commercial. And if it doesn't air within 6 months, you usually don't get it. And it was way past 6 months. And a photo from the commercial with like the cast members, it was a Hewlett Packard commercial, showed up today. And it was also so ironic because that commercial was when I was first learning about manifestation and first starting trauma healing and all this stuff. And I was like literally full circle. And you just said that. I remember the story. I haven't seen the commercial. Yeah, it's Backpack Mama. Who are you?
Was that when that couple bought you the trip, or that was another one?
A couple bought me a trip. That was another one.
Yeah. Okay. Or they bought you a program.
A retreat. Oh, yeah.
Something.
People buying programs.
That was another one.
So somebody.
Just another one.
Some of my serving clients. Okay, Backpack Mom, I'm so curious who that is. I can't see the photo. It's so small. Some of my serving clients who I like just met, like paid for like each transfer $2,500 years ago for this like meditation retreat, and that like blasted my third eye wide open, and the rest is history. And then I remember I wanted to do this leadership thing a while ago, and yeah, I've had a number of people. Oh, Charlotte, hello, beautiful, welcome. I don't know. I've had sponsors many times. Just the resources are always there, guys. Like I'm telling you, you. And it's law. It is literally a universal law that once we make the choice. Remember when I downloaded the retreat, Nicole, and I was like, oh, we don't need to skip a generation. Well, that's why we don't get the money until we make the choice, and we make the choice, and then our higher self provides the resources for that. But the thing is, we can't fake the quantum field. We cannot fake the quantum field. So you make the choice, and then the resources appear when you're going through your next level. And often we have to have our back against the wall to actually do the things. And then once we have that courage, that muscle of courage, we don't necessarily have to have our back against the wall. That can provide expansion, but we can also just do the hard thing. Offer our work. Ask for somebody to sponsor us. Ask for somebody to support us. Like, whatever it is, you know, and then eventually your energy field is just that of, you just get the support. It just comes. But often there's a period of like working through layers of shame, of like asking for your desires, which is such a key code. Okay, so we should talk about the Financial Liberation Series, what it is. This is our it was a 3-part series. I don't know how many hours it is. There's so much content in there. Activation, energy clearing. Miracles happen during this. Maybe we should talk about some of that. And it's on, people wanted lifetime access, so we made it lifetime access. For those of you who were there live, it's just $222 for lifetime access. If you're not there live, it's $555. This is literally worth over 5 figures, and it is a prereq for our next launch of our mastermind, your soul mind wealth plan. So yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. So 3-part series. We did it over 3 days. I think we planned for an hour and a half. It was 3 hours each day. We're not apologizing about that because it was great. It was great. And every day Jill did an amazing activation. So those are also all included. So we have 3 activations in there. One clears dense energy. One is a future self activation. And then there was another one. I forget what that one was, but they're all extremely powerful. And so we kind of like start to really break things down in the sense of really talking more and deeper about what money is as energy, as a frequency, how you're kind of like the science behind your mind, your body, and your actions really create your external environment, and how to shift things. And really just by understanding that helps the brain get out of the way. And then your body really is more accepted to change doing the activation. So it's really powerful starting there. Mm-hmm. And then we also talk about manifesting from your soul. So creation versus kind of like the trendy manifestation, and really understanding the difference and giving you the permission to really be authentic and actually go after what truly lights you up, and not feeling like you have to keep living in this should doing, or that, well, I have to because of this, or I need more money, or I need to do my job because I'm making money for it. I need the money for it. It's like helping you understand that transition out of that to truly living a life that can be so amazing, and really anything that you can think of happening can be possible. So it's really helping you make that transition to that. Then day 3, which we're not including everything in day 3 in the next round whenever we decide to launch that, but this is all about the actual actions, and from a very like spiritual, energetic side of things. A lot of people handle their money or manage it in a way where they don't even think about it, or they're doing things backwards. That's actually keeping them financially stuck. And like we talk about the law of focus, we talk about the law of balance. What are you gonna say, Joe?
Like, oh, I'm just gonna pay my bills, and if there's any left over, maybe I'll invest it in my dreams and desires and all. You got it all backwards, loves.
Yeah, it's like you're setting yourself up last in that case. And I lived that way for literally years, and in a small amount of time things have dramatically shifted. So it's really, really, it's just really cool. It's really powerful. So we talk a lot about how to manage your money, how to allocate certain things, like the steps, the actual tangible ways to manage it, where to put it, how to think about it as you're doing it. And so a lot of that stuff we're actually taking out for the next round. So this is basically going to be the last opportunity to lock that stuff in. So that was a 3-day series, 3-part series. We had people with over 5-figure wins in like a week, multiple people. Mm-hmm. So just by doing the shifts, I don't know how many times they did the activations or went through the content, but
yes, bonkers.
I mean, you can go through that stuff as much as you want. So it was crazy. Like clients, like gifts, so many different things.
So many things. Like people were messaging us all the time. Like one woman was like, "Can we have longer access? Like every single time I listen, I make money." And I'm like, duh. And like people getting gifted like really expensive like coffee machines. Somebody had like 2 or 3 kids have like 5K put in their, I don't know, some kind of fund in the States, just gifted randomly. You have a story like that too. You know, like things like this, highest sales day in business, like there was a lot. And if you really apply the tools, like they are so powerful. I just want to like, if you're like, oh, like, is this for me? Okay, so this is for you. If you're not living the life you truly desire and you're settling in any area of your life, if you are ever worrying about finances, this is for you. If you're thinking you can't do things because of finances, this is for you. If you are thinking that you have to do things for money versus soul purpose, this is for you. Caveat, I don't do anything in my business anymore ever just for money. It's all soul purpose. It's all soul purpose. In fact, if I tried to do things for money, it doesn't work. If you are like wanting to go on a trip and you're like, oh no, I can't, or you're wanting to fly business class and you're like, oh no, I can't, this is for you. If you're having arguments ever about money with a partner, or disagreements, or that's like a friction point in your relationship and it's bringing up shame or guilt or fear, this is for you. If you are ashamed of showing your success, this is for you. Haley commented earlier that stuff with her family, and so I just want to say, like, shame blocks abundance, it blocks greater levels of abundance, but there's an activation in there where we literally take imprints, we take other people's energy and thought constructs out of our field. I'll give you an example. I had dinner with some people the other night, and one person was like, oh yeah, because like we're all broke. And I'm like, speak for yourself. Like, I'm not taking that on.
Say that.
And here's the thing. Here's actually the thing. And this is going to trigger the shit out of people, but I don't care. So, because it's important. Those that aren't creating value for the world, and they're like, oh, we're poor and whatever. Like, I want everybody only to like, they become leeches. They're like, how can I take And he's like, yeah, we're like all like, I'm living with my parents and there's nothing wrong with that and someone else. Like I just visited my parents for 2 weeks, super cool, whatever. And I was provided for. Like my guardian went and like bought a bunch of food and whatever. And it was so beautiful and I feel very blessed. But I don't need that. It's not like I'm gonna go to do this thing just so I like leech off people. That energy is not wealth. That energy is not abundance. That energy is manipulation. Or like women that are like, I'm gonna like go out with this person that I don't even like and just like get free dinners all the time. And like that is such like, I'm sorry, but gross energy. Like nobody wants to be around that. It's really disrespectful. And that energy comes, I'm not judging it, I'm just outing it. That energy comes from a paradigm of there isn't enough, I can't create value, so I need to, it's a safety mechanism. And I say this because doing deep shadow work over the years, I remember it was like a year ago, where I looked at why I had stayed in a certain relationship, and I actually looked at many past relationships, and I was like, whoa, I was outsourcing my sense of safety. And I have a full podcast on this if you guys want to listen. It's now called the Prosperity Portal Podcast. Name changed 2 days ago. It's called I forgot the name of it. Something about a choice that precedes all money manifestations. And it's when I honored myself. And I literally years ago walked out of a really abusive relationship. I was living in a different country with my dog, didn't really know anybody or very few people. And I chose myself in that. And that's where I broke that. I'm not going to play this game just for like safety. And so perceived safety. And then I manifested a place to stay and it was beautiful and whatever. But the point is, like, if you are feeling you need to manipulate other people or hang out with other people or go to dinner with somebody you don't even like because maybe you want that experience or maybe you just like need to eat, like, again, no judgment. I was there like 10 years ago as a starving artist. Like, let's be real.
I'm only laughing because I have the same experience.
I'm like, I remember
we're actually just talking about ourselves. We're relieving the shame.
It was so bad. I would literally, Saturday, hello, beautiful. I would literally just go on dates like 10 years ago because I'm like living off freaking rice and beans and I'm like, girls gotta eat. And I remember one of my gay friends, I'm not gonna name his name, but shouted at me, he's like, well, girls gotta eat, so there's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, I kind of feel bad. Like this person, like Nicole. It was so bad. It was so bad. And now I'm like divine union source, like holy shit. Anyways.
You know what? It makes a good story. It's
such a good story. And
you gotta love all parts of you. You can't, you have to love all parts of you.
You have to be like, that was my shadow. And it was, but I'm not judging this. And like when I looked at that, I literally like purged that version of myself out. But anyways, beside the point. I'm not judging it. I'm just saying that that's leechy energy. And if you will actually want to be in like a community with friends who like love you for who you are and want you to actually be around and aren't in their own insecurities, like they're not going to fly with that. I literally know people, another friend like went to visit this person who used to be in my life and it's no longer, and like she just like wanted him to pay for everything. And like 3 days in, he's like, this isn't a vibe. And this guy's like really cool. And like picked up and left. And I'm like, people of value are so dialed into that energy of leechiness. So if you want to be in like a community of true wealth and not just in money, but in all aspects, but including money, they hate that energy. It's gross. And so it's like this paradigm, and again, I'm speaking from experience of like, oh, I'm gonna like, manipulate them to whatever, but somebody who's like actually aware and actually looking for genuine connections, they don't want to be around that. Anyways, that was a whole riff. But if you're ever finding yourself in that paradigm of doing things, even a job that you hate for money, there's some jobs that are on soul alignment that are like, this is on soul alignment, like serving for me, but I loved it when I was in it, part of it. But it taught me how to run a business, and like acting taught me how to read energy and a lot about, what goes on behind set and DFs and all this stuff. But if you're in a job that's literally making your soul die and you're like, I can't leave because of money, or I need to prove my value or whatever, then this is for you. This is also for you if you have anxiety at all looking at your bank account, if you have anxiety moving money around. Money needs to move. If you don't like paying for things, I literally love paying for things. I love sending my mentor money. I love buying organic food. I love buying gifts from people. I love buying trips. I love investing in communities or country clubs in cities like took that one from my brother. I love it. You know, it's like gives me joy. If you're like, oh, I have to pay for this, resentment. I love paying my internet bill. I love buying my dog expensive dog food because he's like the king of the castle. Anyway, if you don't love paying those investments, then firstly, you're in scarcity. This is for you. This will help you shift that energy because you're not actually. Ooh, yeah, no, Mister. What's up? My dog's going cray cray. So, if you're like, dang, I need that. I have a shamanic drum here. This drum alone was like $500, and that's probably like thousands of dollars of healing tools over there, and another. Well, actually, manifest this for free. Thanks, Leela Tech. Shout out to you. $3,000 frequency machine here. If you're like, oh, I want that thing, and like all those oils, God knows how much those were in it. Just bought every single one. They're great though, highest quality ever, and I can't wear perfume because I'm allergic. It's really bad for your energy field too. But this is for you. If you're like, I really desire to just be able to go to the freaking grocery store and buy organic food and not feel guilty or like contract, this is for you. If you're like, I want to just like take myself on a trip and not feel guilty and have abundance flow to me while I'm on a trip. I don't know, I always just make money when I'm traveling because I literally wrote that belief in my body and now it's my reality. I'm like, dang, God, I'm taking another trip. Anywho, I'm trying to stay grounded. Right? Well, you literally did it on this trip. I got this and this in sale. Of course you did. Duh.
The relaxing.
Relaxing. It's a
relaxing energy.
Offering, relaxing. Offering, receiving. Offering, receiving. The masculine and the feminine. The masculine and the feminine. If you're trying to outsource your safety to money, this is for you. Money can't bring safety in your nervous system. If you are, Nicole, any other ones?
I feel like just if you...
Passion, sorry. Jill, I don't know what is going on. Jill is like, I've never been at this frequency my whole life, and it's really exciting and fun, and it's a lot. It's a lot. I gotta like ground this freaking energy. Okay. If you lack passion hobby. Yeah, if you're like, I just signed up for dance lessons. I also signed up for singing lessons and a few other things. But if you're like, I can't do that, I don't have time, or time scarcity, or I don't have money to do that, then firstly, you're messing up your energy field real bad. Let's just be honest. Secondly, I have this powerful story here. Secondly, this is for you. I was at a gym class the other day, this like hot weight class. Like it's like a hot, like temperature wise. Oh God. Got it. Okay. So anyway, and the instructor is like, he met this guy in the elevator and whatever of his building, and this guy's like, oh, I don't have time to work out, like money first and whatever, and I have this yacht and this and this, and I'm like thinking, he's like telling the story, he's like, you don't have your health, you don't have anything, and I agree. If you have time to work out and move your body, then like that sucks, and you're messing up your energy field and your health and also your vitality and a lot of things, probably your cholesterol. And I'm just like lying, is the end of class, so we were like just lying down, and I'm lying thinking, I'm like, I wonder how much money this guy's actually blocking that saying like money first by not like having a passion hobby, by not moving his body. I'm like, probably 10x, he could 10x his money by actually taking time investment into a passion hobby, because he clearly has the money. But this is where people cap their wealth without even knowing it, because they're so focused on money and they're not living out their passion hobby. Also, if you're focused on money, like what I mean by that, if you're worried about money or thinking about money all the time, this is for you. when you really get these codes, you stop really thinking about it. It's not like the thing you honor and respect, but you're not like, oh my God, where's the money gonna come? Which was
I want to add.
Yes, please add. I need it.
I was gonna add, like, or if you've tried a lot of different things, like something I got stuck into was trying a bunch of different external strategies to make money, like for my business career, all that stuff. And it just didn't seem to work. It seemed to work for some people, but not all. So if you're in a situation like that, or have tried other different manifestation creation modalities and you just haven't found like the sustainability.
Yeah.
I've truly never seen anything like this in our master series that we brought together.
Yeah.
We pulled pretty much like the best of the best of our work, the most powerful pieces, and really brought these together in this container. So I think it's probably one of the best starting investments that you can make and go through. And those who have gone through, or those who are wanting to go through it multiple times. Because the more you go through it, especially the activations, the more you're going to really get that, all of the information ingrained in your body. And then the activations are allow you to actually operate this way moving forward through life. And it's going to become your new standard. So it's really, really powerful.
100%. And the activations alone, or like the allocations that you did alone, are worth like 10K, and it's 555, guys. And if you were in it, it's 222. And like literally the activations, there's multiple people I've helped create 6-figure months with the somatic work. So like, if you've been stuck, it's because you haven't done the somatics. You haven't gone to actually those recalibrations. And why Nicole and I came together is Nicole like specializes in like portfolios and strategy, and like she's a wicked intuitive with the stock market, and she helped me with that and like selling at a high and like all of the stuff and reallocating stuff. And I helped her with the somatic work and the energy work, like the activations and the dry breath work. And she was like, dang, like had all these wins. And I'm like, of course. So we collabed because I'm like the energy and the alchemy, and she's like the practical action. And so that, like, I've never seen, and I've taken so many programs, studied with so many healers, energy alchemists, like money mentors, all of it. And I've never seen anything that has both. It's either one, like the energy and the frequency, or it's like the practical action. And like both coming together is so beyond powerful. And again, if you're like, oh, I want to do it, but I'll do it when, or I'll do it if, or like, it's bonkers to me because, okay, I gotta tell one more story to make a point here.
I have something too.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go real quick. Something that's really interesting too is like if your body, if you don't have the capacity to hold wealth, if you make an investment, that you can easily make the wrong investment because of your state of subconsciously not feeling like you can actually hold that money. So you could make an investment, it could go up, it could go down, and then you would sell. Or you could make the wrong investment, or you could buy it the wrong time. There's all these different things that your state, your frequency will cause that you may not think is related, but is actually completely related. So there's so many good investing strategies out there, but ultimately what's going to make that great is first you being able to have the capacity and show up in a way where you're detached, where you're grounded, where you're taking the right actions in the right way. But being able to do that comes from your ability to hold that and feel like grounded in yourself first. So that's why it's so extremely important. And why this is a requirement for our mastermind.
100%. I want to speak to this because if you have Bob and Joe, and Bob makes an investment and he's super ungrounded and he's in anxiety, and even if he has an investment advisor they have the same portfolio, and Joe is grounded, he's anchored, his energy field is that of abundance, He knows how to amplify wealth and create wealth. So he's not in fear because he knows if anything happened, he can just recreate it. That is the ultimate state to be. When you realize, well, I did it. I can just recreate it and amplify it. Most powerful, most sovereign state to be in. Oh my God. I remember when I started to reach layers of that, I was like, whoa, this is it. There's still more layers to reach, but we're getting there. So anyways, Joe's will like, say the investment advisor does or manager does really well with investment and they both like skyrocket, right? What's going to happen with Bob is he's going to manifest, because of his energy field, some massive expense. So even if you make the exact amazing investment, something will happen in your life where there'll be like this massive expense, and it's showing him that he's unregulated and that he has a fear of actually being provided for because he thinks it's going to make him lazy or people are going to judge him, and he has some weird kink about, you know, how this horrible thing causes drama in his life and makes him feel alive, and he'll feel dead without it. And anyways, the shadow.
Yeah, that's the other end of it. Like if it's not from the investment, it's from a different thing going on. And like same storyline, but you take those two people, the one has $1 million business, the other has a $50,000 business. You swap places, those businesses are then the 50,000 will grow to $1 million. The $1 million's gonna crumble and go to 50,000 because of the person who's behind it. So that, yeah,
100%. And it's like, I saw a reel, Nicole, the other day, and it was like, this guy was like so lit up, and he's like, the poor want distributed wealth, but like if we distributed it 5 years later, the wealthy would hold it again, and the poor would have nothing again, because the wealthy know how to generate value.
Yeah.
Like, dang. Yes.
100%.
And again, we're not shaming anybody, guys. Like, one of my best friends here has like always had abundance and wealth codes, and like I would have so much resentment circulate towards her because she would always make better tips than me, and she's like, you're better I don't know why. And she's just like spending so much money. Like she would go out and like spend $300, $1,000 on a dinner, and I'm like, what? And I'm like struggling to pay rent at the time in a fucking solarium. And so she's like, and we would go out sometimes, but I like wouldn't want to go out because like I couldn't spend money because I was like literally living off rice and beans, and like, and it was all of my identity was like tied into this, as I said. And it's because again, I had shame and guilt about money. I grew up privileged, but it was also always like earn what you desire, or like what you have to create and earn it. And I didn't believe in myself because of trauma and all of this stuff and imprints, and I was like, money is bad and I don't want to be part of that because like they're mean. Again, imprints from junior high. And so alchemizing those was a fun journey, but she like literally is like boggled now because she's like, it still makes no sense. We got massages like, I think it was 1.5 years ago. I got her a massage for her birthday, and I just like tipped the people like $100, and she was like, almost fell on the floor, and she's like, what is going on? And she was at an event here, and I was like talking with her. She's like, I can vouch. She literally used to complain when they charged her 25 cents for an extra sauce and would get hot water and lemon and like 2 oysters. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so funny. And
I love it.
It's zero shame. I'm saying this because like it sucks to be thinking about money all the time. It sucks to not live a life. Interesting combination of privilege with scarcity. Yeah, well, my parents didn't grow up with a lot. In fact, my mom was in like 11 people in a house like the size of my apartment. And there was some very core imprints that my brothers clearly didn't have that I did, and those obviously came up. Like I processed those. They were so deep about thinking I was evil if I had overflow, and that I was like spoiled and that's bad and whatever, and all of it. And that also I couldn't, this is a big one for a lot of you guys watching or going to be listening to this. I'll pop this on the podcast, by the way. So I had a belief that I couldn't make money doing what I loved, that money was punishment. And so I had to be punished to do these things, work, and then I could enjoy life otherwise. So I had to be punished to then enjoy life. I wasn't even really enjoying life. I mean, I was, because I loved it and whatnot, but yeah, we're interacting with money all day, every day. You know, you get a coffee. If you're feeling fear or shame or guilt, do you know how much that's lowering your frequency? Do you know how much that's affecting your relationships? Do you know how much that's affecting your health? I actually got really, really sick when I was deeply in scarcity. And I feel like it was a wake-up call for my soul to be like, hello, wake up, get out of this pattern. There's money codes. What's that? Abundance codes. What's that? Wealth codes. It took me, being homeless in Miami, almost walking out of that abusive relationship, to be like, I think I need to learn this and to never fully rely on somebody. And that was the first time I ever did that, because I picked up and left Canada. So anyways, beside the point. The point is, we want you strong. We want you resourced. If you're watching us, if you're listening to this, then you have a big mission. You have a big heart. You have pure intent. And we need more of the money, the resources in the world, in the hands of people, and really understanding these energetics, because money's infinite. It's just energy. We're creating with a perception. It's not even backed by gold anymore.
You can just print more.
Print $1 trillion and then tax people 50% of everything that 30% to 50%, everything that comes in, and then tax them when they buy something. I'm like, do you know, like 4 times the amount of money that exists, we're also getting taxed? None of this makes sense, guys. By the way, there is the wealthiest people in the world legally pay minimal taxes. For the next round of the mastermind, my CFO is coming in, and she released a podcast recently. She's a Bitcoin note, actually, in my testimonial. Don't tip the government. I'm like, yes, I love this. But why don't we go learn this stuff? Because of fear, because of shame, because of guilt, because, oh, I'm not worthy. It's not you're stupid. You know, like, I have met some like extremely wealthy people that before I ever understood any of this, and I'm like, dang, I think I'm smarter than a lot of these people. But why didn't I start learning this stuff? A, because I was in a frequency match to the information, but also B, because of fear. When there's fear there, all we need to do is learn more. So anyways, the 3-part series, financial liberation series, we will, where are we going to link it, Nicole?
Oh, also, yeah. So I haven't linked in my bio. Jill, if it's not linked in yours, maybe add it if you can. The call to action. So, yeah.
Call to action. So, I was literally outing somebody about that, and oh God. I got so excited with the prosperity portal situation that I forgot. Okay. But here we are.
So it'll be linked in our bios. The other thing, real quick, when we first launched this 2 months ago or so, we did 30-day access for a reason, and that was really to get people to take action. Because if there's not a hard deadline, then you can just kind of take your time. Like, you can get anything done in whatever amount of time you actually give yourself, in most cases. But like, if you're given 30 days, then you're like, okay, I have to get this done. I have to do this. And then you're going to take actions, and then you're actually going to get results from the work. So that's the reason we did that. We had so many results though, and people asking us to extend it. And that's why we decided to give the lifetime access, because they already did the work and take results. So, and got results. So anyone that's getting this brand new, you will have access for life. So we do encourage you though to do it sooner than later. At least start the series, and then for those that already gone through, you have that discount, and you'll get to have all the recordings and do the activations, which can be done honestly on a daily basis. When Jill, I purchased one from you. Yeah, I purchased one from you, and I did it like daily. And
you did? Okay.
That's when I got gifted a bunch of money for something. So.
I know. Can we tell them how much? I remember I was at the ballet, and like literally with Opal, my service dog.
Yeah.
And I got this message from you, and sorry, my thing's popping up. And you're like, you're like, okay, so I got really sick after this, and like I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, and then this, like, I got gifted this very significant amount of money.
Yeah. I got gifted 15 grand. I got 15 grand, and then I got like forgiven for some money that I borrowed too. So I'm like, heck yeah, like let's do it every day. Literally. So that was really cool. And honestly, like it really truly was like I felt a full shift in my energy and the way like I thought and acted and just went about everything, not just money. And so it was really cool to just actually experience that and be like, okay, like I thought this just worked for some people, not all people. And it's because the things I tried before didn't actually get to the root cause, weren't actually the highest frequency of the tools that my soul really wanted. And I think it's honestly better this way, so I didn't get stuck doing the wrong things.
100%.
So
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say not mad about it.
I mean, you completely shift. Like it's like metamorphosis. I'm like, what Nicole's gonna show up today? It's so fun. Jill, I made all this money. Jill, this happened. Like, obviously, duh. It's light. It's just be fun and light and people. And like, I was gonna ask a question on this. Dang. But yeah, like, I can't remember, it left my mind, but this is coming through. One of the biggest ways they control people and enslave people is the financial matrix. And we're creating our finances with our frequency, our currency, what the laws that, or the agreements that we buy into, and the agreements that we can not buy into because they're illusions, they're falsities, they're not true, they're false light templates. The truth is that money's abundant, it's infinite. Like I said, they just like hope you really go re-listen to that part about they literally printed trillions of dollars. And I mean, look at the stock market right now, it's going up and down and all, it's freaking crazy. You think that they're literally controlling it. Okay, so anyways, so it's created with our thoughts, our perception, our paradigms that we subscribe to. We can unsubscribe to the ones that are not useful, aka there's scarcity in money, and by our frequency. And we can generate our own ecosystem, our own economy by realizing that we can generate value and we can generate energy. But we have no capacity and space to do that if all of our energy and value is being siphoned by, quote, the powers that be, by the matrix. That's the game, guys. They want to keep you so busy, so numb, so like in scarcity, in anxiety, that you literally have no space to create. So in fear is root chakra, safety is too. So when you're in safety, then you can move up to the second chakra, which is the energy center of creation and also pleasure. I did a transmission years ago where I realized, oh my God, I'm literally addicted to suffering on a neurological, biological level. You can go back on my page, it's from like 2.5 years ago. And I talked about the slave codes when I was discovering them. And I said, what if pleasure was the highest timeline of abundance? And it is. It's because that's our center of creation. When we can create value for the world, we can create energy for the world, then we're infinitely abundant. But you can't enter that state when you are in fear, when you're in scarcity, the same frequency, fear, scarcity, contraction. And so just look at your decisions and your micro moments of if you're going to invest in something or buy something, or, you know, does it feel, are you like, ugh, and then you're like trying to bypass? That is imprints. And it's just like, you know, when I'm going to sneeze for the truth. For those,
we'll count it.
So I didn't say it though, but it came up. Just like if somebody's manifesting the same, say they're dating somebody and then they like leave that relationship, but they don't heal the wound, the imprint, and they don't shift the energy. What's gonna happen? You guys have probably all had this experience this one moment in time until you like got hit so bad that you're like, I'm the common denominator. I'm the problem. Me. Oh, I've been there too. So the reason they're going to date the same person over and over again in a different body is because of their energy field, this imprint. Your soul is being like, yo, go heal this. Your sense of self is self-deprecating. Your view of self, your identity, same thing, is self-deprecating, and you're not going to be able to reach your potentials and live out your soul mission because you're thinking you're unworthy, not good enough, not pretty enough, too much, to this, to that, not enough, all of it. And so your soul, now we're getting a little bit deeper. I didn't think we were going to get this deep here, but here we are. Your soul is like, hey, human, hey, you need to go heal this. Man in a different body, yeah. You need to go heal this imprint because this is what's magnetizing the scarcity. This is what your nervous system is coded to. This is why you've dated this somebody who's cheated over and over again, or somebody who's in their feminine energy, or somebody who cannot provide for you, or whatever it is, over and over and over again, and you're like, what's going on? I love you. It's you. You're the common denominator.
Just look for the patterns.
Look for the pattern.
Look for the pattern.
It's not your fault. It's an imprint. It's a trauma. It's a samskara. And it's programming. So when you can go to the core of that, Dania, when you can go to the core of that and transmute that energy, aka the activations, the deeper work is the breath work. That's in the mastermind. What's up? I miss you. That's what's up. And girls going through the recalibration. We'll message you later. I died today. Okay. If you can go to the core of that and transmute that energy, everything shifts. I literally used to manifest abusive partners, physically abusive partners, in one clearing of an imprint, boom, never happened again. It literally fell out. The dude in Miami, for those who are interested. Anyways, that was years and years ago. But it's the same thing with money. All of a sudden, whoa, it's safe to be comfortable. It's safe to be in overflow. Whoa, biggest day ever, revenue day, out of the blue. That's not a
also.
Go ahead.
I just want to throw this in there real quick, because to make this connection as you're saying this, the billionaires that you're talking about, that's why someone can go bankrupt and then within a year they have to be back at that wealthy level that they previously were at, because that's literally in their energy field. Literally. So like it shifts. So you can't, once you're in a certain state, you can't actually not have wealth or a certain level of wealth.
100%.
Because
unless you're doing it through manipulation, then you're not going to go back there. But that's not what we're talking about. This is why we do the deeper somatic work, the alchemy. It's literally, this is science. It's an alchemical process. And like, absolutely, that was such a good point, Nicole, because this is why, like, you know, serial entrepreneurs, like you said, they go into one business and they like completely transform it, or somebody else just like makes it go to shit and it was thriving. There's somebody actually in our mastermind who's like, oh, I came into this other business and she had one, she's like, it was like not doing so well. And now it's starting to thrive because she's the alchemist. She is the alchemist. Our frequency determines our thoughts, actions, and behaviors. Our ability to create, intend, center of will, and receive, manifest. And so if we don't deal with our frequency, we're quite frankly fucked. And we're just trying to like dance around and do all the 3D, and then we blame other people, and then we're in resentment. And we all know, well, I'm just gonna give them this key. You gotta join the program to get the tool, but the key, resentment creates a debt field. So now you're even more fucked, and now you're going into more debt, and now you want to blame people even more, and then you're even more miserable, and no one wants to be around you, and then you make misery friends, and then you go and heal that, and then all of a sudden those friends fall out and you get way better friends, and here we go, so fam. Tanya, I love how you're on here right now. I like had a lot of friends dissolve out, and then Daniel came back, and then she left. She's coming back. Okay. Okay. Anything else? I could just talk. Oh my God, it's been almost 2 hours. No.
What's new? What's new? I think that is everything. My phone's about to die, so.
Okay.
But thank you, everyone, for hopping on. Thank you for those listening to the podcast, since this is now going to be a podcast episode as well.
Yay! Yes.
I love it.
Your frequency.
If you guys.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Your frequency is your currency. One more thing. It's like, you know, those people that always win at life?
Oh my gosh. Yes. This one guy in my management information systems class in college wouldn't ever study for a test, would just show up, no stress-free, ace the thing. I'm there sitting hours every single day, and I would like get like a B+. And I was so frustrated. It's the only class I ever got a C in. Stuff doesn't matter anymore. But yes, that type of person.
Yes. Okay,
Nicole. Person.
At my surgeon job, like I said, I was the hardest working. At my acting, like everyone thought in theater school I was going to leave New York and be so famous in Canada. Most of those people are famous. Your girl's not famous, because I didn't have the capacity to hold it, and I left the industry, and now I do this. But I did manifest some roles like right before, when I was first getting into this stuff, as I said, the one that paid for that whole trip. But like, it's like I was like the hardest working and like got the best reviews, all the things, but like I didn't have the capacity to hold abundance. And then I never got recognized. Well, that's a lie. When I started learning these, I started winning all these codes. I started winning all these competitions at my last serving job. My dog is like literally on his back right now, like that. It's so cute. Just absorbing all the information, the wisdom, the frequency. So, but it's like hard work doesn't create wealth. I'm sorry. Like I wish it did.
I know, right?
I'm a Capricorn, 5 houses in Capricorn. Your girl loves to work. It's a little bit of an issue. But like it doesn't create wealth. I would have made the most money serving at restaurants or detailing cars or working all these weird odd jobs, and I can tell you I didn't. And then even I would be a match to be around it but not have it. Like I would get a $1,000 tip and then it would go missing, stolen by managers. Stay tuned for a podcast episode coming up with an old manager. I think he'll actually admit it on the podcast. Adam, if you watch. Oh, I just said his name, but oops. I don't think he's on here anyways on Insta, so, but he's on Facebook.
Oh, well.
Okay. Anyways.
Call him out.
Whatever. It's part of his healing journey. So, like tips going missing or whatever. And so I wasn't a match to it because I had these imprints that I was bad if I was in overflow and I needed to freaking prove my worth to my father. Go figure. Proving my worth by like working so hard at a restaurant. I mean, my father was already ashamed of that, or maybe he wasn't. I don't know. It doesn't even matter anymore. But I'm like, I'm going to prove my worth by working so hard and like prove. It's like that energy literally repels abundance. That's the slave mentality. That's why people come to other countries with more opportunity and they're still in that mentality and they never amount to it. And then there's like the oddball that does, and they're like, whoa, what? You're not. You're supposed to do that. You're a different culture. You're a different race, a different color. And it's like, no, it's all mindset, but of the unconscious mind, which is the body, the nervous system, and our imprints diminish us and make us feel like we can't achieve anything, but we're infinite beings and we can tap into the quantum potential of the universe, of the infinite, and we forget that because of trauma and because we can't hold it, or we learn to manifest haphazardly and then we can't sustain it because we haven't done the deeper imprint work. That's the activations and the physical action. For those of you who just want to do the activations, sit in your room and meditate all day, you got to do the physical actions. That's, Nicole stuff. which honestly is worth multiple 4 figures, maybe 5 figures in of itself.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay, well, that's that.
All right.
Very long.
So if you guys have any questions, of course, message us. But we hope to see you inside if you feel called. And we're excited for those that do get the lifetime access and for all the wins that you can look forward to.
100%. Yeah, we need you to win so that we can like not have to focus on money and focus on like, you know, creation, soul path.
Yeah. I feel like so many stories are now flowing and I'm like,
I know. I'm like, how do we talk for 2 hours? This is what happens on Soul Path.
Yes. Wait, I have, one real quick because you brought up serving. So this was actually an experience where I wasn't a good, I guess, I did actually manifest. I bartended, literally did not care. Never, like, people would ask me for drinks. I'd be like, sure, I have no idea what it is. Make something random. Be like, this is extra special. You're going to really love it. They all loved it. Like, I would forget people's drinks, forget their meals, whatever. I got tipped so much. Like, I remember just, like, talking to the guy, and he's like, oh, my beer's over there waiting on the table. And I was like, oh, yeah, ha, ha, ha. Like, here it is. Got $100 tip. Like,
what?
Just, when you, like, yeah, when I was just fully would show up, like, not caring, having fun.
Yeah.
But then other places where I cared a lot and would work super hard at sales jobs and different things like that, it was so soul draining. Like, I would rather watch paint dry because it was that bad. And it was so hard. It's such a trip. It's such a trap. And yeah, it is possible to love what you do and make massive amounts of wealth.
100%.
So I will leave it at that.
And joy is the highest frequency. So of course you made that money when you're like, oh, I'm enjoying whatever. And this is why they don't want people in that. They want them stressed about it. And the very last piece, oh my God, you just reminded me of something. It was so
carefreeness too, because that's unattachment.
100%.
But like, obviously caring, but like detachment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not attached.
Okay, sorry. What were you gonna say?
What was it? Okay, wait. You were talking about bartender, just like $100 tip. Actually, that's so funny because it was like anytime I would go into work when I was serving, when I didn't care, those were my best days. But literally, like, it was like, I'm doing this because I enjoy doing it, and I'm like, I'm making this frequency. And anytime I went in, I'm like, oh my God, I need to pay bills. How am I going to rent in Vancouver? Like, literally living in a solarium. Like, it was bad, guys. It was so bad. So embarrassing. And like, I would never make money in that because when we're desperate, it's like dating. It's like a relationship. Like, desperate is so repelling. It's like, ugh, get away from me. But it's like, if it's secure, like you guys were just talking all about relationships. We didn't even talk about the relationship to money. Dang, another podcast. Or you guys can like actually just join our 3-day thing. We talk about that there and give you tools how to actually create the relationship with money. Because thinking it's not going to work. If your body doesn't feel it. But yeah, needy energy repels. And when this is why poverty exists. When we're like, oh, like, I need money, like, God, please, source, please. Like, no, you already have it, you already are it. It's all around you, all at all times. It's like air, like we breathe air in and out. Money is the exact same. Oh, I know what I was gonna say, and we'll leave it on this. It's so important unless you have something else to say after this. But win-win, like we talked about, so your win isn't somebody else's loss. You're being the permission slip for them. This is abundance. Like we said, money is not limited. And so there's more than enough for everyone to have unlimited and offer their gifts and value exchange to the world. But that takes you creating this energy and generating value.
1000%. I do want to share, let's say one more thing about prayer and this, because prayer is asking, but that doesn't mean that you're just going to be given the thing right in front of you. Sometimes it actually shows up as an obstacle because that's what you need to overcome in order to get that thing. So it's like, I think there's like a story of a guy, there was like a flood and he was out in the water and he kept praying like, God, please come like save me. And then like a boat came and he was like, no, I don't want the boat. Like I'm waiting for God to save me. And then like an airplane came and something else. And he's like, no, I'm waiting for God to like save me. And then he drowns. And he's like, God, like, why didn't you come save me? He's like, I literally gave you a boat, a plane, and something else. And it's like, but you missed that because you're just focusing on like waiting and the miracle to happen. And actually the miracle is you shifting and taking action and overcoming what seems scary and not fun and uncertain, but that's where the real like growth and the answers are. So
100%.
I just wanted to add that.
Helicopter, yeah, literally a helicopter. Like I love that story. It's I've heard that before. It's, we have to do our part. God can only do for us what he can do through us. So if we're not doing our part, or if we're not taking the opportunity, he's like, yo, I literally just gave you that. And like you said, we'll get what we need to grow. We'll get, the thing that's holding us back illuminated in front of us. And then that's exactly what we need. Like I joke, but like it's true. Like going through a breakup a while ago, I remember the moment it literally started dissolving. It was probably 2 years ago now. The moment I was like, I am devoted to love. I am devoted to union. And then I was devoted to this person, but he was third. So he had to meet me in love. And I'm not devoted to thwarted energy, manipulation, or distortion. And that literally shifted my field. And so when I'm like, I'm devoted to love, like I'm calling in love, well, that thing blew up. It took a few months, but it blew up because it had to dissolve out of my field, because that's what was stopping and blocking it. And so, and then I needed to go on a journey to become literally the embodiment of love. How do I let this frequency move through me? How do I show up in this? Because everything's an energetic match. So sometimes it's like, when I remember when I first started doing money work, and all of a sudden, like, actually Charlotte was there at my first half-day retreat. I'm like, that was so cool. We made hundreds of dollars, like doing what I love. And I was just like doing jam with like my friend Danny, and he had like fixed the AC in my building. I rented the room in my building and like literally paid to rent it. And they wouldn't turn the AC off, and it was so cold, and there was like a child. And so he turned it off, but he had to like move the thing, like a whole piece of the roof, and he was a mechanic, so he knew how to do it. But then we got charged so much money, and I was like, what the F? I was like working on this abundance stuff. I was making money, finally in soul line, and then like, what is this? It was an incidental. And I was like, this makes no sense. But it was showing me, I can invest more in myself, because I didn't do that yet, incidentals. Also, that I had this belief I couldn't make money doing what I love. Encoded not in my thoughts, in my body. I had to rewrite that belief, aka the activations, in my body. Not just think, yeah, I can do this. My body's like, oh, that's not safe. Okay. Attached to how we think the miracle should look. Yeah, we can't be attached to that, because God's kinky, and and he will be like, nope, no, like, I'm taking that from a mentor named Chelsea.
Did you say God is kinky?
God is kinky. It's like a module on one of our courses.
I love it. Like, I love it.
I'm like, what does this mean? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's what that means. We'll get what we need to grow. This journey is madly humbling, and so worth it. And also will drastically show you through miracles how powerful you are, but it will humble you first. It's just bringing up the trauma to be transmuted. and knocking down your ego. I get my knockdown every day. It's so fun.
Yep. Welcome to the club.
555, Nicole.
Ooh.
God is the Dom with no safe word. Oh my God, Charlotte, I love you. Okay. Literally, like source God will like permeate you on the deepest level. But that's what we want. We want like through us. That's how we transmute our energy. This is also like pure sex alchemy. Like when we use that energy to alchemize our traumas. But we have to feel that emotion. I'm not talking about the false light Mary Magdalene path. I'm talking about the true light in devotion to source. Love you, God. Thank you. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to get a little kinky. Just kidding.
Like my new word. It's because of our friend.
All right.
Her friend let me, she's like, read this book, and it was all about shadow, and I was like, oh my God. It's about how we love feeling these emotions, and we use our life. It's called Existential Kink. I highly recommend. Thank you.
I think you told me about that book.
Yeah, I did or she did?
You did.
Okay, really good. And I was like, oh my God, this is the shadow, but spoken in a different way, and it's so true. I'm like, we do this, and I wanted that, like even like in like friendship or relationship or whatever. You're like, oh, I didn't want that thing, and it's like, no, you actually enjoyed that roller coaster. Like there was a piece of me that used to really enjoy. Now I prefer peace, but used to really enjoy like low lows, and I was like, oh my God, like let's make this better. Like it was a very wounded Jill, but it's like I did enjoy that. And then when I went transmuted that, I was like, oh, we can actually have this you don't need to go to the low lows, and you know what I mean, but we're literally creating everything. And so it's like just go into it, and God will do that. He will show you like, you know, like, or you're attached here, or you know, anything you pedestalize will be taken from you, whether it's money, whether it's a relationship, whether it's like a mentor, whether it will be like ripped out of your life, anything that you put on a pedestal, so that you can be humbled and rebuilt from truth and anchored in your soul, in your essence. Yeah. Hello, Erin. You can watch the replay. We just went for 2 hours. We're off. Really good though. Also, I highly recommend watching it before tomorrow night.
Oh yes, that's what we didn't share, or maybe we did. It's been so long since we shared that.
I know we should have like it's and like shared it at the beginning too, but we're getting better at sales. See, I still have some stuff to work through in sales because I used to kill it selling knives, and my aunt literally told me that, hope she doesn't watch this ever, that like basically like inferred I was an evil person, whatever. Like I was top sales in the freaking country, Nicole, and it scarred me, and I couldn't sell after that. And I literally remember I was working through this with a coach years ago, Andrea, and I'm like, but I'm an evil person because my aunt told me this when I sold these knives, and I can't sell. And just like, but isn't your work helping a lot of people? And I'm like, yeah, but like, and this is why I was let people come to me and like was not actually offering. I'm like, no, they'll find me through referrals, which is how I built my business, which is great. But I'm like, go get impact more people. She has to get over this trauma. So here we are getting over it piece by piece. Next time we'll talk about the beginning.
No, that's okay. I love it. Piece by piece. Obstacle by obstacle.
Obstacle by obstacle. That's it. It's these uncomfortable moments. Like, you know, when Nicole forces me to go dancing and I'm tired and whatever, and I'm like, maybe I'm just uncomfortable because I'm like showing up and I don't know anybody. That was really it. It was my ego trying to protect me, but I'm glad I went. Yeah. And guess what I manifested? Country swing dance lessons here. They literally did not exist. Yes. I found a place and a teacher.
Funny.
I'm going on the 17th. I'm so excited. New passion hobby.
Oh my gosh. You know what I just realized?
What?
You know how you were like your higher self wants you to go swing dancing or whatever?
I said, can you test for me? Because I gotta know. My human was like manipulating my intuition. I knew deep down I was supposed to go, but anyways, yes.
But remember when I asked you, or you channeled for what like a passion hobby I should do, and you're like, it needs to be like swing dancing?
I think I said
Something.
salsa that you tried to avoid.
Salsa.
Yeah.
Yes. I was with one of my clients one time, and like a country song came on that I liked, and she was like, "Oh, do you like line dance?" And I was like, "Are you serious? Like, no. What anything about my vibe gave you that I line dance?" But anyways, that just popped in my head because you said that. That's so funny. Like, maybe I really should try it.
Yes. Oh my God. Now I need to learn it, and then we can go together. Maybe you can learn something too, and then we'll go together. I'll have to like take a trip
Yeah.
because I need
Yeah.
to. I always make money when I'm traveling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, all my
Come on over.
One was here when I was having a breakdown, and I surrendered to God, and got past my ego, and then I realized, oh, it's safe to be comfortable, and rewrote that in. It was intense.
Yeah.
But all the other ones, I'm like in Hawaii, or like, spontaneous trip to, actually one of them was California. That was my biggest month. It was like California, Miami, all over Florida, like Michigan. Where are you? I'm like, I don't know. Hello, Kirby. We got to replan that. I'm so sorry. I miss you. Message me.
Was that Kirby who joined?
No, not Kirby. Kirby. I used to work with
hi.
her. You should go back and watch all the restaurant stuff, Kirby, because I talked about restaurant stuff. Really good stories in there. I worked with him at Cardaro's. I love him.
Amazing.
Okay, we'll plan. Hey. Hi, girls. He's a hairdresser too, an amazing hairdresser. We will plan that. You have to do that. Okay. Anyways, we should wrap this up in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. Insanity.
I can.
You're like, because Jill just shut the F up. It's so crazy. I lost my voice yesterday.
But it's also good. You what?
I lost my voice yesterday. I've lost it so many times. I'm like, I have a singing lesson tomorrow. My lymph nodes were so swollen from this recalibration. And then I literally like used my dog's frozen food this morning, and then my dog was like healing me. And then I called in like the 1,000 frequency healing, and I was like, my lymph nodes are like beyond 5. And then all of a sudden I'm talking, and I'm like, girl, can't shut up. Oh my God, use the force to hold. You've been so proud of me today. I used the force to hold my truth. I love that, Kirby. Yes. Okay, seriously, DM me. Let's plan a time. I'm in the middle of 2 launches right now, but let's schedule it in the calendar and we'll make it happen. We're supposed to hang out on Father's Day, but I had a little surprise come up. Okay, so anyways, my fam surprise, and had to honor that because we good family now after trauma healing. These things help you with your family relationship, by the way, as well. I feel like I have a whole new family. Okay, anyway, we are gonna love you and leave you. Her son even pulled me aside and apologized. Oh, I love that. That's really, when you speak your truth and hold your standard, it's really good for your energy field and for manifesting money. They left their heads held in shame. Oh no. Hopefully they alchemize that shame, but also hopefully they learned a lesson, because rudeness is not the vibe. Not the vibe. I'm so proud of you, Kirby. Okay, we're gonna love you and leave you. If you want to grab that before it closes, bye. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, Charlotte. Thanks for your comments. I love them. God is kinky with no safe word. I'm literally dying. Holy Toledo.
Yeah, I wanna quote that at some point.
Yeah. Write on your thing. Kate, I just want to say this, because we're talking about shame, I just swear, last thing Jill's gonna say. I used to be an affiliate for this course. It was called, well, I still am, Daddy Energy. It's about business and being supported in your business with the divine masculine structures and team. And I realized I was well, maybe I shouldn't even talk about this. I'll tell you, Nicole. I'll DM you.
Okay. Can't wait.
Oh, okay. Big hug.
All right.
Like, don't even want to
So,
go much. Okay.
yeah, and it expires tomorrow at like midnight Pacific time.
Yeah.
So
It'll
that's the
literally be the
deadline.
best 555 or 222 you ever spend, honestly. Like I said, people, like we mostly, Nicole said, actually people invested, or
Yeah.
oh, I'm tired now. They manifested over 5 figures, multiple people, like multiple miracles. It's the energetics, it's the action, and it's a prereq to our amazing mastermind, which we would love to have you in next round if you call.
Yep.
We'll let you know.
You'll get a much better ROI than the stock market too. So.
Oh yeah. Oh my. Obviously, yeah. People are like, well, I gotta hold all my money in here, and I'm like, well, if you're not. Firstly, there's different places you should be investing. You should be investing in yourself before the stock market. You are the common denominator. Your frequency is your currency. So if you're like investing in the stock market but not in yourself, I'm sorry, but how are you expecting like miracle returns? The stock market's great, but the best investment's in yourself. I remember I like pulled stocks, and I'm not saying there's other ways to manifest it, but I pulled a lot of stocks when I first started my business for mentorship, and it's the best thing I've ever done. Like, people are shocked how much I've invested in mentorship, and some people think I'm crazy, and I'm like, well, how do you think I've created this life? Like, I could have never done that without understanding. So yeah, like Nicole said, we took the best of the best, and it's packaged at 555 for lifetime access, or 222 if you came live. Okay, love you guys. You're infinitely abundant. Get those codes.
Thanks, everyone.
And stop letting money hold you back. Okay, blessings.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Hello, Sacred Soul. I hope you loved that episode. And if you did, I would so appreciate if you could share and tag me on the social medias at Jill Alana Nixon. And if this brought you value, I would be eternally grateful if you could leave a 5-star review. And if you did, take a picture and email it to teamjillalananixon@gmail.com, and we will gift you a free cord cutting soul revival mini activation, a Jai activation. Put that in the show notes, the email, and thank you so much. We will see you again next week on the Prosperity Portal podcast.